see here. Click to attendee. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So everybody should be seeing my screen right about now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to JMI's Remote Solutions. So we're going to get started in just a second here, actually. I'm going to stop sharing. I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope you're all having a wonderful Friday, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us if you're on your lunch break. If you're having leftovers for lunch, I hope somebody in your house is a good cook. So let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Why are we all at home right now? So for most people in our industry, which rightfully has been deemed essential, great news, we still have jobs, but we're trying to get all of these same things done. And that might be the only constant in our life. Everything around what we do, how it gets done, has been changed, possibly forever. I'm not saying that I'm never going to see you guys in person again, but I am saying that everybody is questioning like their daily commutes, any means of travel, and by extension, their meetings and interactions with other people. Not all of this is bad, but with so few places today letting any external consultant, contractor, salesperson, anybody extra on site, and limiting all of those what used to be in-person interactions, I just can't help but think some opportunities to fix things or keep things running correctly have been missed. So when you add up all the missed opportunities, some people are calling COVID the $16 trillion virus. And that's when I'm going to go ahead and start sharing the presentation with you guys. What people don't realize is we are all working from home, and we're here to talk today about remote solutions. This is most of my days. Is I've got a dog and a cat and around, but the good news is I'm more available than ever. So everybody is sitting around by their computers, barking from home or working from home, but we have more access to people than ever before. In just 15 minutes, we can get a lot more done than we ever have. I want to give you guys some examples. So I've brought some friends with me today. Hey, Dave. So I have a chart recorder, and the screen's all messed up. Normally, I would call tech support and create a ticket for this, but I was wondering if you could help me out a little bit faster. My screen on my GX20 Yokogawa chart recorder, it just doesn't look like how it's supposed to. I wrote a message on it. I can't find it. Can you help me out, Dave? I'm going to go ahead and make you the presenter really quick. There.
Sure,
right.
Andrew. Let me get my recorder fired up here in the office, and I'll be able to help you here in just a second.
Sure.
Now,
Perfect.
it looked like you were looking at the trend screen, and I'll have a trend screen up right here. And what you're saying is you didn't see the message. Well, we can just go over how to write that message really quickly here. You have your trend screen up. You can just press on the button, and then you can press on the ABC here, and this is where you get to type in your message. And so you can just say that in here.
Cool.
And now that should show up there. Now, one of the things that you might be looking at is you could be looking at the wrong group. So press the menu key and ensure that the correct group is up here on the top.
So hang on a second, Dave. If I had a chart recorder with me right now, let's say this was my chart recorder, I could be pressing these buttons with you right now, couldn't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically that's the idea, that you would be manipulating your screen as I'm showing you the exact button pushes over here in the office. And walking through exactly the exact issue that you're working with. A lot of times a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, what's a video worth?
Hopefully a few less. Hopefully we get it done a little faster. But yeah, thank you, Dave. I love that example because the alternative to that would be a phone call, which sometimes works, but having the video right there, if a customer had that question, I mean, I know that you're at your desk most of the day, and that takes about 5 minutes. So we can give that example that's exactly how we would help somebody. So thank you, Dave. I'm going to take back control real quick again. So now that my chart recorder is fixed, my Heart handheld is dead. So I'm actually right now, day on Canon, I'm really hoping you can help me with this. So I'm out in the field, out the oil pipeline, natural gas pipeline, and I'm about 10 minutes away from any Heart handheld that might be on somebody's desk, but mine just died, and I just need to zero this transmitter. Dan, can you help me zero this transmitter real quick?
Yeah, sure can.
Here, I'm going to make you the presenter. Go for it.
All right, sure can. So in a situation where you need to zero your transmitter and you don't have access to a communicator or like a remote seal application where the tank can't be emptied to make the repair, Yokogawa's made life pretty easy for everybody. So on every Yokogawa transmitter, underneath this stainless cover, there's a digital encoder. And what you can do, you manipulate that encoder.
Go ahead. You're good.
You can manipulate your 0 point. So you just adjust it down to 0 and you'll be good to go. Now keep in mind, this only changes the 0 point. It does not increase the speed range of, the range of the transmitter.
So where is this on my transmitter? Can you show me?
So it's actually on the right side if you're looking at it. And that stainless cover there.
Okay.
Stainless cover, yep, it's right underneath there.
Cool. And then I can just adjust like this.
Correct. Yep.
Awesome.
And if you know you're at 0, you just adjust it down to 0 and you're good to go.
Yeah. And I saw you took the cover off too.
Yeah. I got started with my cover off. Obviously there's going to be a cover here to begin with, but but to show you the range setting switch, there's also a switch here. If you use that in conjunction with your encoder, you can actually set 9 different parameters on this without ever even putting a communicator to it.
Perfect. Hey, Dan, let me ask you something. How would you have done that without video?
What do you mean?
How before we were doing this whole video thing, how would you have done something like that? If a customer called you and tried to talk to you about that, how would you do that?
Well, if they're just trying to set 0, I think I could probably talk them through that over the phone. You know, really the range setting switch stuff's pretty easy too. You can probably walk through that over the phone as well, or you can, you know, do an online call or, you know, video call or something like that.
Yeah, you're totally right. You probably could for a good amount of people. You could totally do it over the phone. Having the video though, something that I've noticed is you can record these sessions and you can send them the video afterwards. So instead of going at you can call them over the phone. If for some reason that doesn't work, you could go out and see them, which might take a day or two, or you could do this video thing. You could record you doing that, so then they know how to do it and they can send that to everybody on their team. Everybody knows how to do it.
Right. Yep.
Thank you, Dan. That's a very useful tip.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we got lots of problems today. I thank you guys for solving those, but this is a big one. My gas composition, I just bought a Fox Thermal FT1, and the gas composition just changed of the media that I'm trying to measure. I'm really not sure how to fix this, and I don't even know if the sales guy knows how to fix it. We might have to go back to the manufacturer for this one. Hey, Ron, I'm going to play this video that my guy just sent me. Can you talk about this? So the gas composition just changed. Can we do something about that? Do we need a new meter?
No, not at all. With an FT1, that's one of the beautiful things about it. It's part of our lineup that is a DDC sensor technology, a direct digitally controlled sensor technology. So that platform allows you to make changes in the field when historically with a thermal meter, you'd have to send it back to the factory, have it adjusted, have it recalibrated, and so forth. But right now, there's a number of ways of doing it. If you did include HART, you could change it via HART. The FT1 comes with no charge downloadable software. And of course, you could just arrow up and through the menu on the face of the transmitter. So there are a number of ways to do it. And, you know, it's easily done. Also, just recently, for one of the JMI customers, we enhanced the FT1 we're speaking of, and it now with Modbus output is a read-write device. So you could make changes, including the gas composition, either from the transmitter, the free software, and the Modbus receiving device.
Wow. So there's a lot of different ways that we can do this. I have here, this is the video of, this is one of the Fox thermometers. This is the FT4X. You could just plug it right into your computer, and then you select a COM port, and you go here.
Right.
And you can change the gas configuration this way is a really simple way, isn't it? I mean,
it's super simple. Yeah, I can't. Why don't you click on there you go. Every parameter that can be changed is all on one page right there. And down there in the bottom, in the middle, right there is the gas composition. Right there, you make those changes.
Yeah, and you can set, I see here you can set custom gas, any gas.
That's correct. Yes.
So, wow, okay. Well, thank you. That sure saved us a lot of time.
Good.
In doing so. I mean, you know, and that's what this is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and head on back to here. Thank you guys for helping me with all of those problems. So in the last 5 minutes, we fixed a Hart handheld, we fixed a GX20, and we also, oh, come on. We also just fixed an FT1 problem that we were having, where the gas composition was changing. And all of these things, you know, it doesn't matter how many people it takes. You saw how easy that was. It's pretty easy these days to get a phone call or a video call with somebody. And some of these things could be handled over the phone, but via video, you see how simple it was. We were able to share our screens, show you a YouTube video. Many of our manufacturers and sales reps as well, we all have demos at our house. So a lot of the equipment in the field that you're using, we have it in-house. And if for any reason I don't have the answer, clearly I'm happy to bring other people on. And I know JMI in general is always happy to tell you, we don't know the answer, but we can bring on another expert and tell you exactly what your solution is, because we want to make sure that we've got the right information for you. I feel like though all of these things we've always been able to do, right now is a perfect time to get back to work and fix all of those issues that we've had, because people are loving doing this. I've got some more examples here, but before I talk more about how we're doing things today, I want to tell you guys a little bit about, you know, let's go back to February of 2020. I don't want to go through all this again, but back in the day, you know, support looked a little bit differently. You know, we still had the same expertise, but this is an example of kind of how it used to be. You know, I would have my week scheduled, and I would get a call on Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, and it would be, hey, I've got a problem. I need you to come out to the field. And I'm always happy to do that for my customers, but usually it takes a couple of days for me to get there because I've got other obligations. This is back when we were all traveling, seeing people. So I'll usually get out there the same week. I mean, I try to make a point to at least do that, if not sooner. But you can see here by Thursday, Monday morning's problem is probably solved. There's about an 85% chance. I'll do my homework before I go out, you know, just like everybody will. But if I don't, I've got to do some homework. I've got to talk to the manufacturer. The manufacturer has to create a ticket. They have to troubleshoot it often. Sometimes they ask the same questions that I did, but they're just trying to confirm. And usually about 2 weeks later, the problem is then solved. Now, if for some reason that manufacturer doesn't have the answer, you usually get a senior manager involved. And about 2.5 weeks later, how it used to be, the Monday problem would get solved, maybe 2.5 weeks later. You know, a lot of times it's faster, but this is a typical, if you have a real issue that needs a lot of troubleshooting, this is very common. And I know there's stories on both sides. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes 2.5 weeks ain't quite going to do it for you. But this is how it is now. With the way that we can virtually interact with people and make contact and communicate with people faster than ever, on the same day, I'm not traveling as much. I've got these little 15-minute, 20-minute meetings that I'm preparing for, but I can schedule a virtual meeting and troubleshoot that day, if not the next. And if I can't solve your problem, I can get to the manufacturer faster than I ever have before. And the manufacturer can get to senior managers faster than ever before. Because let's face it, if you don't have 15 minutes, you don't really have a life. And in 15 minutes, half an hour, that's really all it takes. There's no more drive time. There's no more waiting for the manufacturer to be in town. And there's a lot less limitations when we go virtual like this in terms of how we can support people. So clearly, as you can see with my my 3-week schedule, I have a full week now to pour water on my cat, which I've really been wanting to do for a long time. So I've got the time now, and it's fantastic. So you know, in-person service, I don't see it going away ever. And I love taking customers out to lunch and going on site. And I do feel like by being there and seeing the full process, there are things that you'll see potentially that might solve this problem or another problem that you wouldn't otherwise see if you're on a camera or a screen like this. But you know, right now, I fear more for the work that's not being done. We do have in-person technicians. Our industry is essential, so there's a lot of people, boots on the ground still, but a lot of people are being sent home, and they're being sent to work from home. So these are our day rates and our half-day rates for our technicians and senior technicians. I'm just here to tell you, virtual service is faster, and in some cases, it can be cheaper. You don't have the drive time, you don't have any hotel fees, and as you just saw, if it's a quick fix on a chart recorder, like with Dave, or a quick fix with a pressure transmitter, your problem is solved so much faster. They could be on their phone and videoing you on their phone, even if they're in the car going somewhere else. It simply is a new way to do things, and we've gotten a lot done with it. So this is another example of a customer that called me. I think this was on Monday morning. And they bought a bunch of Yokogawa pH equipment from us, and they were having some trouble with wiring, with setting it up. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a wiring expert. Now, I have here the wiring diagram, you know, and I can guide them through what the wiring diagram says, but I am not an expert on setting up all the different pH and conductivity that they had. So I called in Tom, who is an expert, and I said, hey, Tom, it's Monday morning, and this customer's down, and they just bought a bunch of equipment from us. Can we help them? He said, yeah, sure. So we set up a video call, and this is us virtually on site with a customer. He's showing us, here's the pH, here's how it's wired, and we emailed him this wiring diagram. So we're walking him through this entire process Monday afternoon. He could have been back up and running by the end of the day. So that's way faster. I mean, if I needed to get an expert on something like this out to the field, it could be, you know, if I'm lucky, I'll get them the next day, maybe because they're in nearby. But I mean, it could be a lot longer than one day, I'll just say. So we're here for you to keep you up and running more than ever before. I guess I'll close basically with this. We are available for communication in almost any way, shape, or form. So this is JMI's website on the left, and you see me sending documents, receiving documents, and even having a phone call with a click of a button right off the website. I started with a question, sent in some information, they sent me something, you know, traded some stuff, started talking about it. It's so easy to do this stuff on your computer, or if you're out in the field and you're not near a computer, on your phone. Over on the right-hand side here, if you're scrolling your phone looking for something, we're online, we're here to help you on your phone. We can set up the video call pretty much anywhere. And we've always been able to do that with phone calls, but as you can see, the video is a little more helpful. So this is another example of me screen sharing with a customer. We were going through the general spec because they had questions about, you know, what is this ultrasonic level measurement doing? So I offered, you know, hey, let's do a little virtual call. We're going to share your screen, and I'm going to write on your screen. So as you're going through it, I'm teaching you, I'm circling this and saying, here's what we need to do here. It's just another example of, you know, maybe back in the day, I would have driven out to the customer, written on the piece of paper, and had an in-person meeting. But this is my way of getting to them even faster. And JMI is equipped to do these things for you. So this is just one more thing. You know, we all have a Meet Now button. So if we're on the phone and it would be easier to share screens or share documentation in some way, we all know that we can do video calls a lot faster now than ever. And with everybody being so used to them, you can get the right people on the call at the right time. And I just think that everything's a little bit faster. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And I want to see you guys again. I want to get out there and, help solve the problems that we can. So thank you so much. I'm going to open it up to questions very soon here, but on the bottom of my email is a 15-minute consultation button. You can click and schedule a meeting at your convenience anytime, and I'll get an email, and we can go from there. But you can also contact JMI at jmicompany.com/contact. So thank you guys very much for coming to the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing and stop talking for just a moment, and we're going to see if we have any questions. Let's see. All right, we've got most people in listen only mode. So feel free to type a question into the Q&A. One question I got is, can you help us anywhere? And I think what they might be referring to is, can we make these video calls to any location? The engineering support that we can offer, the technical support, yes, no matter where you are, we can help you. We can help support your product. I hope that answers your question. All right, I got a few thank yous and a few people are signing off. So hey, Ron, Dan, and Dave, thank you guys so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you around. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Thank you very much.